everyone, and welcome back to Velvet Moments. Here we don't chase noise. We don't rush moments. We don't wait for fireworks to tell us something matters. Because some of the most meaningful chapters arrive quietly. Without announcements. Without flashing lights. Without needing to be understood immediately. Sometimes they arrive through footsteps echoing across an airport floor. Through a simple update on a timeline. Through a journey that continues not because it must be seen, but because it must be lived. After a long transit in Dubai, BTS have now arrived at Lisbon Airport, Portugal. At first glance it sounds simple. Another city. Another airport. Another stop along a global path they've walked countless times before. But ARMY knows better. With BTS, nothing is ever just a location. Every destination carries memory. Every arrival holds meaning. Every movement forward becomes part of a story that has been unfolding for more than a decade. Today is not only about where they are. It's about how they continue. And more importantly, about how they continue together. Lisbon welcomes them with a different kind of energy. Softer. Calmer. Almost as if time itself slows down here. After the bright intensity of Dubai, the endless lights, the constant motion, the feeling that the city never truly sleeps, Portugal feels like a pause. A gentle exhale. A moment where the world stops asking for more and simply allows you to arrive. And that contrast makes this moment feel quietly profound. There is no spectacle here. No dramatic freeze frame. No viral clip designed to dominate headlines. Just 7 individuals stepping into another city, carrying with them years of shared history, successes and sacrifices, laughter and exhaustion, moments of doubt and moments of triumph. And somehow that simplicity is exactly what gives this arrival its weight. Airports have become silent witnesses to BTS's journey. They've crossed continents together so many times that these spaces no longer feel temporary. Each terminal, each gate, each arrival hall holds echoes of who they were, and who they've become. This arrival in Lisbon tells a story too. A story of endurance, of quiet strength, of a bond that doesn't need to be displayed loudly to be felt deeply. Long-distance travel is never easy. Even for artists who have mastered the rhythm of global schedules. The fatigue accumulates. The jet lag lingers. The body feels the distance long before the mind does. And yet what ARMY notices is never the tiredness. It's the way they move. The subtle glances exchanged without words. The instinctive awareness of each other's presence. The way their steps fall into rhythm, unconsciously synchronized after years of walking side by side. These are not things rehearsed. They are habits formed by time, by trust, by choosing again and again to walk the same road even when it's long. From Dubai to Lisbon, the journey continues, east to west, under changing skies, through different cultures and languages. And still BTS remains the constant. Wherever they go, they carry the same sincerity, the same quiet discipline, the same connection that has always been at the heart of their story. Lisbon feels like a fitting chapter. A city layered with history, emotion, and soul. A place where stories are not shouted but whispered, and somehow linger longer because of it. BTS has never been only about charts or stages. Their story has always been deeply human. About growth that doesn't happen overnight. About becoming without losing yourself. And Lisbon, with its old streets and gentle warmth, feels like a place that understands stories told slowly. At the airport there was no grand announcement. No dramatic declaration. Just 7 people arriving. Carrying years of memories, dreams, and promises they've made both to themselves and to ARMY. And that quiet arrival speaks louder than any spectacle ever could. When the update reached ARMY around the world, it spread instantly. From one timeline to another. From one time zone to the next. Because every movement matters. Not out of obsession but out of connection. BTS has spent years inviting the world into their journey. And now every stop feels personal. Every destination feels shared. Portugal may not be a place frequently mentioned in BTS's past narratives. But perhaps that's exactly what makes it special. New locations bring new energy. New emotions. New possibilities. Whether this stop is for work, preparation, or a brief moment of rest, it already feels like part of a larger story. One unfolding quietly without needing to be explained. There's something symbolic about this path. From the Middle East to Europe. From one horizon to another. Different cultures. Different rhythms. Different histories. And yet BTS remains unchanged at their core. Lisbon Airport today became more than a transit point. It became a witness to continuity, to resilience, to the truth that even after everything they've achieved, BTS continues to move forward, not chasing what's next but carrying what matters. Yes, there is fatigue, but there is also determination. The kind that doesn't announce itself. The kind that stays steady even when no one is watching. BTS has never rushed their story. They move with purpose, aware of where they've been, mindful of where they're going. And in Lisbon, that sense of quiet intention feels especially clear. For ARMY, this moment is more than a location update. It's a symbol of transition, of growth, of another page turning in a story that refuses to end quietly. From Dubai to Portugal, BTS continues their journey, not just as global artists, but as people who have chosen to walk this path together, even when the road stretches far beyond what anyone imagined at the beginning. Lisbon is not just a stop. It is a chapter, a memory in the making, a reminder that the journey is far from over. And as always, ARMY will be there. Across oceans, across borders, across different skies. Not because they have to, but because they want to. Because BTS doesn't simply travel the world. They bring their story with them. And today that story has arrived in Lisbon. Purple Heart Airplane, Portugal. As the city quietly unfolds beyond the airport walls and night settles into its gentle rhythm, this arrival becomes a pause, a breath taken after a long stretch of motion. A reminder that even in constant movement, there is room for reflection. What truly travels with BTS is not measured in miles. It's measured in trust, in shared history, in a bond that distance cannot dilute. Lisbon is not just another name on a schedule. It is proof that the story continues, chapter by chapter, without rushing, without losing its heart. And wherever they go next, the world will continue to watch. Not only because they are BTS, but because their journey reflects something universal. Growth, perseverance, and the quiet beauty of moving forward without letting go of who you are. Until the next destination, the next chapter, the next moment that speaks softly yet stays forever. This journey continues. Together. Purple Heart Airplane, Portugal.